Hello, I'm Christina, and I invite you to join me as I get dressed in my riding habit today. It's a particularly smart look when the day calls for riding horses or traveling. Let's start with my most basic undergarment, a shift of white linen. It is loosely fitting, and the drawstring neckline helps provide some adjustability. It was sewn by economically piecing the fabric, as can be seen by the triangles that help gently flare the hem. My hair is already styled for an active day, brushed over a roll in front to provide height, and then more rolls in the back are pinned into place, up out of the way. Makeup is simple and delicate. This pretty cotton wrapper provides modesty as I go about my home, but with its charming silk bows is fashionable enough to be seen by family and close friends that may be visiting. Lovely stockings knit in a gray wool yarn extend all the way up to the thigh and help keep the legs warm. Today, they will be held in place by black silk ribbon garters, which I will tie below the knee to make walking easier. Stays are an essential for support and to help distribute the weight of the many petticoats that will be worn tied around the waist. These stays are of linen stiffened with reed, and they lace up the back in a zigzag pattern, but only as tight as is comfortable. I call this my under petticoat, and it buttons on the side. It is of a shorter length than my other petticoats, and of white linen, so it can be easily laundered. I like to wear it for modesty, especially when planning for an active day. I love the simple print of these blue calico pockets. They tie around the waist and have plenty of room for all my necessaries. A small bum roll helps hold the skirts out just a little in the back, and also makes the waist appear smaller in comparison. Optical illusion is preferable to tightly laced stays. I adore my quilted silk petticoat. Fabric that was pre-quilted was purchased and made into a petticoat, but these can also be quilted by hand in elaborate designs. The quilting provides warmth and helps give more fullness to the skirts, again making the waist appear smaller in comparison. It won't show in this ensemble, but there are other styles where a quilted petticoat may be visible and the beautiful quilting can be shown off to great advantage. The front and back are pleated to separate waistbands, which are tied on separately. This ingenious design leaves open slits on each side through which the pockets remain accessible. This habit shirt of the finest, whitest linen is accented with ruffles at the neck and wrists. Its construction is based on that of a man's shirt, but it is cut much shorter so as not to add bulk at the waist. It buttons closed at the neck with Dorset buttons created by wrapping thread in a decorative pattern around a metal ring. The wrists are closed with a pair of charming cufflinks. A narrow tape wraps around the waist, keeping everything in place. The cravat is simply a long, narrow piece of linen that can be wrapped around the neck a few times, depending on the style. I like to tie mine in a soft, feminine bow. One final petticoat is added. This one is of a fine worsted wool to match the riding habit coat. It is also pleated into two separate waistbands, like the quilted petticoat beneath it. The slits in the two outer petticoats line up on the side seams, so the pockets continue to be accessible. This method of tying on the front and back separately also allows for adjustability in fit. This waistcoat, similar in style to a man's, is of an ivory-colored silk taffeta. It buttons up the front, and there is a separate belt across the front only that also buttons onto the front and sides. The back of the waistcoat is of an unbleached linen since it is not meant to show while the coat is being worn. A tailored coat is the main piece of this ensemble, and brass buttons set off with gold trimming are meant to echo the men's military styles of the era. But it is only a fancy of fashion. All the buttonholes are false. Ladies' shoes have a small heel, and the latchets of these oxblood leather shoes close with shining brass buckles. Once the buckles are on, I can slip my feet into these shoes with ease. Delicate earrings meant to look like coral coordinate with the shoes and add a delightful accent to the ensemble. Cocked hats are a popular choice with 18th century men, so to continue the spirit of copying them, we ladies have adopted this as one possible hat style to complement our riding habits. Coordinating gold trim and plumes of black feathers frame a carefully pleated cockade. It is time to fill our pockets. An embroidered fabric wallet full of the necessary currency for traveling can go in one pocket, and in the other a beautifully hand-embroidered handkerchief. Gloves are essential, especially when traveling and out of doors. I think the day calls for practical leather, but they are nonetheless finely made and functional. At last, I think I'm ready for the adventures of the day. Thank you so much for coming along with me. I will leave notes in the description with more information about each of these lovely items. Go get dressed to have a glorious day.